But with that said, I think it's time that we get back to Rena, who is taking her turn of reading the Book of Good Decisions. Let's see what she's going to get up to today. She was up to quite a bit yesterday. She has been a very, very, very busy girl. Exactly, I only listen to people who are dating or married. But Rena has been a very busy girl, and we need to check in, make sure things are going okay. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure that, given that she's had a couple days to mull things over, we're probably good. It had been very hot for the past few days, and the corpses went rotten quick. Well, like I said, things are probably going well. Great line to open with after I fucking say that. It had been very hot the past few days, and the corpses went rotten quickly. Oh, right. Give me a second. I need to join the key, because I set this up with a controller. And I forgot that I rebooted my PC this morning to do something. So now this should work. Alright. Once more. Close you. Sorry about that. It had been very hot for the past few days, and the corpses went rotten quickly. Any housewife knows how fast fresh meat can go bad. I know it too. That's why the first thing I did was to dismember the corpses. This girl's been busy. Rena, you have been a very busy girl. There was only one reason why I needed to dismember them. I had to reduce them to a portable size in order to carry them to a place where they'll never be found. I know, right, Jetstorm? Great. Like, this entire chapter feels like it's going to be great line to come in on. Fantastic. When men see the words dismembered corpses, they'll probably feel disgusted because they don't cook. But housewives are used to taking guts out of fish, and they sometimes even see living maggots. They take the maggots off the food or even cook it with the maggots still on. The heat will kill them after all. Women don't tell men what they do in the kitchen because men wouldn't eat the food if they knew. What do you think about this? What do you think about this methodology, Poncho? This whole women cooking differently in the kitchen, and we don't want, and y'all don't want to know. You like the Rena murder chapter? So it didn't really bother me much to dismember them. I was released from all my problems by killing them. Cleaning up the mess was like nothing to me, because I got freedom and regained my happiness. I dismembered the corpses using carpenter's tools like a saw and a hatchet. I was wearing a black sweatsuit I bought for today because I thought I might get stained with blood. Bloodstains don't show on black fabric, and I can just throw it away after it's done. I brought a plastic sheet I found in the dump because I thought the blood might spread otherwise. If I did the work on this sheet, then I could just burn it after I was done. In the end, dismembering human bodies is no different from preparing food on a chopping board. Oh yeah, there you go. I was very tired from chopping apart 2 adult bodies, but I didn't have a problem doing it. Man, this chapter is just off to a fucking start. I cut off their arms, legs, and heads, dividing each body into 6 pieces. I heard before that blades get easily ruined by fat when you cut apart a corpse, so I brought many kinds of tools. And I was right. I didn't have to go back and forth between here and my house to get another tool in the middle of work. A long time ago, a construction manager was murdered, and his body was dismembered here during the dam conflict. He was cut into 6 pieces the same way. Well, I had 2 bodies, but there was double that, though. I remember the main suspect was still on the loose, and the victim's arm he hid hadn't been found yet. I wonder where he hid it. I'd like to ask him. I smiled wryly. Yeah, right? Unlike arms, legs, and heads, the torsos were difficult to take care of. I thought about cutting them into smaller pieces, but I decided against it because I thought it'd be troublesome to clean up the guts. I put each piece in a black trash bag and sprayed on a lot of deodorant. I wasn't sure if that would help against the smell, though. Many bugs flew around me while I was dismembering the corpses. After I finished putting all the pieces into each bag, the bugs were still flying around, but that was just because they could smell the blood. After I cleaned up everything, they were all gone. Now all I need to do is get rid of these 12 black bags. Burning them would be the easiest, but I don't think I can burn them to ashes without a cremator. The best way is to bury them somewhere. Other than the torsos, every piece is small enough to fit in my backpack. I could easily carry them without being noticed. I could throw them into the river running through the damn construction site, but if I did that, somebody would find them for sure. I've seen on the news several times before that a bag with a body part in it was found beside a river. Every time I heard something like that, I always thought the murderer was stupid. That tree, there you go. Always post. Always post it! I thought about dumping them into the Onagafuchi swamp, but rotten meat floats. I thought about weighing the bags, but there's no guarantee they'd stay down. So that left me with one choice, to bury them. There are so many unexplored mountains in the end of the abandoned districts around Yagauchi and Takatsudo. It's probably best to bury them somewhere in the mountains. While it would be safe to bury them here in the garbage dump too, it's not perfectly safe. And so I'm going to bury all these bags somewhere deep inside of a mountain in order to completely erase the two of them. My joints hurt since I'd been using my muscles I don't normally use. I cleaned up the mess very carefully and got into my hideout while still wearing the sweatsuit. I laid down on the mattress. I washed my hands carefully, but there was still dirt and blood under my nails. I should take a shower later and wash it off completely. When I say things like disposing of corpses, it sounds like I'm the greatest evil of the century. But that's only true if I get caught. What I did isn't a crime as long as I don't get caught. Plus, I didn't do this because I wanted to commit a crime. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh man, you're gonna bring in the sad music, aren't you? I did this to protect my father's life and mine. People might speak ill of me, but I don't care about them. In the end, I don't think anybody can really pass judgment on my sins. Sins aren't something to pass judgment on. They're something to confess and to atone for. In other words, nobody can measure the weight of a sin other than the person who committed the crime. Do I regret what I did? Do I feel sorry? No. I don't think I did anything wrong. I truly believe there was no better way than killing them. I'm sure it was the right thing because my life had already started to change since the night I killed them. A few days earlier, I came home from killing Teppei. My father was cleaning the room Teppei had thrashed earlier. His eyes were swollen. He'd been crying.
どこへ行ってたんだ?
あの男と話をしてきた。もうリナさんは二度とこの家に来ない。だからあなたも来ないでって言った。
That's exactly what happened.
だからあいつはもう来ないよ。
そんなのでおとなしくしてくれるやつじゃないぞ、きっと。レイナもしばらくは用心した方がいい。
It's hard to explain to him why Teppei would never come back. I can't tell him he shouldn't worry because I killed him. I grabbed ice cubes from the freezer, put them in a plastic bag, and handed it to my
お父
father.
さん、ほっぺたすごい腫れてるよ。
He must have only noticed it just then.
ありがとう。
私が片付けるからいいよ。掃除機持ってくるね。
レイナ。
He called out to
お
me.
父さんが悪かった。ごめんな。
仕方ないよ。あいつらは騙すのがなりわいだもん。だからお父さんは騙されただけだよ。
Yeah, Teppei went out for cigarettes. He's gonna be a while. Hope you're doing well, Daisushi. Welcome.
レイナはあいつらがそういう連中だって知ってたのか?
うん。最近だけどね。言っても信じてくれないと思って言わなかった。ごめんね。
He looked down. When he told me about how he wanted to get remarried, I told him that they were bad people and that they scammed others with Badger games. But he didn't listen to me, so I was right in saying that he wouldn't have believed me at
お
all.
父さんは母さんとの離婚で落ち込んでいるところをつけ入られたんだよ。
お父さんは 本当にダメなお父さんだよな。
Then he started talking about how he met Rina, as if trying to absolve his guilt. It was when he was suffering the most, and when he needed to drink away his sorrow. At a bar, he opened up to Rina-san, and Rina-san was the one who came to his table. It was her job to be a good listener when her customers talked. Rina must really have been a great listener and offered words of comfort when he talked about the divorce. If he was emotionally stable, he could have taken it as a kindness that she was only offering at the time, but he was also desperate that he took it the wrong way. After that, the tragedy was inevitable. He wanted to believe that it was destiny, that he glamorized everything about her. It would be easy to laugh at him and say that he was just dreaming, but I don't blame him, because being weak is also part of being human. He had plenty of opportunities to grow suspicious of her questionable spending habits, but my father just read even that behavior as an attempt to cheer him up. He bought everything she asked him to, and Rina had landed her catch. He shouldn't have brought his lover to the house where his daughter lived, but he was crazy about her, and he didn't even think about it.
お父さんはお父さんであることを忘れちゃってたんだ。本当にどうかしてた。
He started crying. I held his shoulders
いいよ。
gently.
お父さんがそれに気づいてくれたなら、お父さんはお父さんなんだよ。私には一人しかいない。最後の肉親なんだから。
He couldn't stop moaning. We held each other and cried together. The next day, my father got up early in the morning. He was already cooking breakfast when I got up, and he told me,
お父さんは今日からしっかりするからな。
Well, see, it looks like we fixed everything.
でもお父さん、目玉焼きを焼く前にサラダオイルは敷いた方がいいと思うかな。
久しぶりの台所なんで。
He pried off the burning eggs off the pan with a spatula, and he added salad oil to it. It was too late. Doing that just made an even bigger mess. But I didn't say anything because I wanted to eat his eggs. I waited at the table quietly. He put the burned eggs on a plate and he brought them over to me. It looked like he tried to salvage them by adding cheese, but it didn't really work. Still, it smelled good and crispy. It actually stimulated my appetite. Thick-cut toast popped out of the toaster. I made coffee with extra milk and sugar because my father liked it sweet. We put everything on the table. It looked terrible, like the cooking class of an elementary school, but to me, it was precious because my father tried very hard to make it, wearing the apron.
匂いだけなら美味しそうだよ。あとは味だね。
やっぱり食事はレイナがやった方がいいかもな。これじゃかえって悪い気がする。
お父さんが仕事で忙しくなったら、また私が代わるよ。
It had been a taboo to talk about work in our house. He hadn't worked since the divorce. It wasn't only because of divorce, though. He just didn't have to work because the settlement my mother gave him was so huge. Plus, I let him be lazy because I felt guilty about the divorce. But my father cleared his wrongdoing by showing repentance to me. And so I atoned for my sin of not doing anything about my mother by doing what I did the previous night. Now we are free of sin.
お父さん、仕事を探してみるよ。今日は食案に行ってこようと思う。
うん、それはいいね。
It's not money that he wanted. He just needed a normal
こんな
lifestyle.
年で体力もないからな。いい仕事があるか不安だよ。
どんな仕事ならいいの？
事務の仕事がいいけど、この年じゃなかなか雇ってもらえないだろうな。
私の友達に聞いてみるよ。みーちゃんはこの辺りの大地主のお嬢さんだから、ひょっとすると紹介してくれるかもしれないよ。
いいよいいよ、仕事くらい自分で探すよ。その程度にはしっかりしないとな。
Guys, I think this is all working out. I don't remember the last time we enjoyed breakfast like this. I don't even remember the last time we had breakfast together. For the first time in a long time, the morning light felt refreshing. I wanted to keep enjoying life like this, but unfortunately I had to go to school. I told him that I'd skip school that day, that I wanted him to take me somewhere fun, but he tried to be a good father and said that I had to go to
じゃあ
school.
私学校行くね。
ああ、行ってらっしゃい。
He followed me to the front door. I was a bit embarrassed for some reason. He talked to me while I was tying my shoes. He followed me here not because he wanted to see me off, but because he wanted to tell me
お
something.
父さんは母さんとの離婚の後、でもお父さんはレイナと一緒だから寂しくなんかないんだ。そうだ、最初から寂しがることなんか何もなかったんだ。
お父さん、それを家族って言うんじゃないかな。
そうだな。そんなことを娘に教わるようじゃダメだな。
じゃあケイチ君を待たせてるからもう行くね。
行ってらっしゃい。
You having a thinky dink, Sayora?
ああ、そうだレイナ。今日はお父さんが夕食を作るぞ。
Yep.
食案
Yeah,
に
a
行くついで
little
に
late
買い
on
物を
this
してくる。
realization. He's even gonna do the grocery shopping, though. I think we
朝食
fixed
みたい
him.
な失敗はしないから楽しみにしてるんだぞ。
楽しみにしてるよ。行ってきます。
I left the house. My father saw me off, still in the apron. It was the first step of our new life. I finally regained it. I finally regained everything we lost after we left Hinamizawa. My mother wasn't around, but I didn't feel sad because I had my father. Oh no, you brought cauliflower instead of broccoli again. Dang. It's an easy mistake to make. Dinner tonight or Keiichi's bento that one time. You got a point. The cries of the cicadas sounded as if they were celebrating my new life. The sunshine was bright and the wind was sending up a nice breeze. The only thing that wasn't nice was the ticking clock. I was late because I spent too much time talking with my father. Keiichi-kun might already be gone. I don't think he'd be waiting for me that long. But he was there anyway. What a good friend! He waited for us when we were late. What a good boy.
おはよ
おはよう。遅れてごめんね。ごめんね。
う。いいってことよ。普段は俺がレナを待たせてるんだからな。たまには俺を待たさせろ。
ずいぶん遅くなっちゃったね。早足で行った方がいいかな。
そうだな。チャキチャキ行こうぜ。さもないと走る羽目になりそうだ。
兄ちゃんさすがに先に行っちゃってるかな。
待ってるだろう絶対。俺たちは仲間だぜ。絶対に見捨てないし、勝手に行っちゃったりはしないよ。それはそうと、今日は朝からいいことでもあったのか？
どうしてかな。
いやさ、今朝のレナは普段にも増して上機嫌そうだったからさ、特別なことでもあったのかなって。
The good mood I was in must have been too obvious for Keiichi-kun to ignore. I had not only my family, but my friends too. I felt something warm spreading in my heart.
それがね、聞いて。朝食をお父さんが作ってくれたんだけどね。それがね。
なんだよ、目玉焼きはそれで正しいだろ。サラダオイルってのはサラダに使うもんなんだろ。
みーちゃんたちに教えてあげようっと。なんですって。それは許しがたい暴言でございましてよ。
おう、上等だぜ。そこまで言うからには直接対決も辞さない覚悟だろうな。
おうおう、盛り上がってるじゃない。なんなら今日の部活さ、さとことけいちゃんで外馬行こうか。
みーちゃん、外馬って何かな。
ああ、外馬ってのはよ、つまり俺とさとこだけで賭けをするってことさ。部活の順位がそのまま勝敗になって、 負けた方は俺たちだけのペナルティを課す。
つまりどっちが勝っても負けても僕はとっても楽しいのです。
Rika is all about watching people suffer, apparently.
どうするさとこ。
素敵な勝負でございますことよ。部活にビリで罰ゲームの上にさらに私に負けてダブルで罰ゲームなんて、こんな素敵なことがございまして。
How's it going, Bina? Welcome. Been a while. Have not seen you around a while. Hope you're doing well.
よーしさとこ、よく受けたね。よっしゃ、今日の部活は2人の外馬付きでやろう。
部活の種目より罰ゲームを何にするか考える方が楽しいのですよ。
Keiichi is over there just like, man, I hope the maid outfit is on the docket today. Come on, maid outfit, let's do it again.
確かに楽しいよ
He's
な。
ready. He's ready. He's ready.
さ
Don't
とこ
worry.
がどんな悲惨な目に遭うか今から想像できちまうぜ。
それはケイチさんのことでございましてよ。むにやりましたわね。むにゅ
ほらほら、2人とも勝負はまだ始まってないって。
Oh, most world record for most panic attacks in the school restroom. Oh, jeez, that sucks. I know how that feels. You definitely have my complete and utter sympathies. I can relate to you, big there. I hope everything else is going well. Otherwise, though, that believe me, like I know, like especially right now, right, where literally the entire world is falling apart. Kind of easy to see how other situations can be real stressful on top of it. Oh God, AP calculus. Oh no. Like, well, I'm already literally the worst at math anyway, so that's automatic panic attack for me. Just done so as soon as I walk in the room. Chie-sensei opened the door and came
皆
in.
さんお待たせしました。それで
Five!
は
Oh
ホームランを始
Lord!
めますよ。
Again, you have my sincerest and deepest sympathies, but I also wish you the absolute best. Everybody headed to their seats.
みーちゃん、
何？
ケイチくんとさとこちゃんがとても盛り上がっているところで申し訳ないんだけど。
Is this an actual PG-13 stream? Oh yeah, I'm the most family-friendly streamer that you're gonna find. Oh god, yeah, calculus broke my brain. I'm not great at it. I'm not great at anything. Like, you know, I can do a lot of things that involve words. I'm good at that. Like, I'm much more of a creative-minded than I am, I don't know, mechanically minded, I guess it would be. Like, I'm not great with math.
ごめんね。ちょっと今日も用事があってすぐ帰らないといけないの。
We're skipping club.
そうなの？もう用事じゃ仕方ないな。お家の仕事？
うん。
家事ってんじゃおじさんは口出しできないな。うちはお手伝いさんに全部任せっきりだからね。
たまにはみーちゃんも家事手伝いとかすればいいのに。きっと花嫁修行になるよ。
ご安心を。万事その手のスキルに関してはつつがなく習得済みですので。
Dang, Mion's already confirmed herself good wife. Mii-chan looks like the kind of girl who tries to stay away from chores as much as possible, but she can actually do everything. That's just who she is. She went through hard times to learn those things, but she acts like she learned them without any struggle. That's also who she is. I like that about her.
なんだよレナ。帰っちゃうのかよ。
Oh god, yeah, those all sound just, oh lord. Like language and composition, like I'm 100% certain like I could roll that, but man. Oh lord.
圭一さんが恥ずかしい格好で職員室にお伺いしなくちゃならないところをご覧になりませんの？見物なのに残念なのです。ごめんね。
昨日も家の用事だったじゃねえかよ。何かあったのか？
ちょっとね、いろいろ。もう何日かかかるかもしれない。
じゃあ当分レナは部活に参加できないかな。
かもしれない。なるべく早く復帰できるように頑張る。
Rena's got some cleaning up to do.
その用事は俺たちには手伝えることか？
Oh boy, yeah! Come on along, everybody! Who wants to play? Pick up the body parts! There's 5 of us here. We could do this in like 3 trips.
例えば古い家具を運び出すとか、そういう力仕事なら言ってく
Old
れ。
furniture. Yep.
応援に行くぜ。
家の模様替えとかかい？おじさんたちみんなで手伝うよ。
レナさんの家のお手伝いで優劣起きそうのもありですわよね。
Oh boy, we're gonna make a fun club activity of helping Rena clean up. She just needs to walk her cleaner after school.
お手伝いしない方が優勝なのです。みんなありがとう。気持ちだけもらっておくね。
じゃあ仕方ない。竜宮レナを本日付で我が部より戦線離脱とする。お家の仕事が片付くまで休暇とするので、英気回復の上再び戦線へ復帰することをここに命ずる。まあ4人なら4人で遊べるゲームもあるしね。そうだそうだ、ケイちゃんは麻雀とかできる？
Yo, they're gonna play Mahjong! Dude, I'm so ready for this now. I know how to play Mahjong
おう
now.
任せろ。親父の仕事関係の人たちの卓に無理やり混ぜられることもある。
Yes, we absolutely are. Ghosty is on our Discord now. So, and Zalaz is there already. So we can actually technically start getting games together next week if y'all want to. I'll set up a group, private message with the 3 of you later and kind of just get things in there. How's it going, Ding? Welcome! You bought an automatic mahjong table? Damn! After that, they fooled around and made a lot of noise, just like they always did. I looked at them and reminded myself that I'd always have a place to return to. I left the classroom with a smile. Mahjong is good for the mind, absolutely. You're basically off all next week? Fantastic! I was going to Yagouchi on my bicycle. I had to find a place to bury the bags with the body parts. Hopefully I could finish burying all of them today before it gets dark. With that, everything would be over and done with.
パイの背中が竹だってのがなんだか怖いよな。まさかガンパイってことはないだろうな。
Yeah, what way have these goddamn demon children rigged a game of mahjong? Oh, I've got to see this.
圭一さんには以前のジジ抜きの時に痛い思い出がございますものね。
We got, I think a lot of us here got into mahjong because there is a really great mahjong scene in Himatsubushi, with Akasaka and Oishi. And I think that spoke to a lot of us here. So, a couple of weeks ago, I went out and I've just started picking up the basics, obviously. I don't have it all down. I don't know, winning combinations and all of that stuff yet. But the games kind of take care of, the Yaku stuff for you a lot of the time. But, yeah, that's sort of how we kind of, I think, gravitated a little more toward it.
まあ多少は傷もあるだろうね。安物のパイだしさ。そのくらいの要素がないと我が部らしくないでしょ。
that's cool as well.
赤は何枚混ぜるのですか？ 6 つ？
Rikichan sounded professional, and it scared me. Oh well, I should start by checking the tiles. Playing Mahjong with my family is different from playing it as a club activity. I have to be cautious. It's possible that one tile is missing, or that there's one extra of a particular tile in here.
そんなことしないって。でも着想は面白いね。そういう手もあるか。なるほどなるほど。
よしよし、パイをみんな表にして並べてみよう。ほれほれほれ。
Everybody flip the tiles face up.
あれ、おい、誰かのとこにチュンが1個隠れて。
リンツとソースの6が1個ずつ足りないですよね。あ、マンチの6も1個足りませんでしたよ。
なんだなんだ、随分と足りないじゃないか。
そうだったそうだった。ちょいと待って。
Mion hit the palm of her hand with her fist. Mion hit the palm of her hand with her fist, moved her chair aside, and stuck her finger into a gap into the floorboards. She then pulled a tile out of there. What the fuck?
はいよ、まずはチュンね。あとの3つはどこだったっけな。
おい待てみよ。どうして麻雀のパイが教室のあちこちに隠してあるんだよ。
にゃはははは。まあまあ。
She must have hidden the other 3 tiles somewhere in the classroom and forgot where. We couldn't play Mahjong with 3 tiles missing. I suggested playing another game, but Mion insisted that we had to find them and suggested making that treasure hunt our game.
まあ確かに圭一さんと勝負をつけるなら種目は何でもいいわけでございますけど、もうちょっとまともな種目がいいですわね。
同感だな。それにこの教室に
I know,
本当に
right?
あるかも怪しいんだ
How could you not trust that careful and kind Mion?
多分あると思うんだよ。あるいはおじさんが懐にしまったまま帰っちゃって洗濯機の脇に置いてあるとかかな。
I love this girl. She is a piece of work. I recommend checking the total number of tiles after we play Mahjong with Mion the next time. Everybody except Mion nodded in agreement.
何よ。教室宝探し対決じゃ不満？
つうかミオンのイカ様の後始末だろ。お前の責任でやれ。部活を私的に使うな。
Guys, I don't think we're playing Mahjong.
ブーブー。じゃあどうする？麻雀は無理だしね。他何する？である人。
As our club president, Mion usually decides what we'll play. I couldn't just come up with something on the spot. While we were all thinking, Mion hit her palm with her fist, just like she did earlier.
じゃあさみんな、パイの宝探しが嫌ならさ、もうちょっとでっかく宝探しをしようじゃない？宝探しといえばレナのお家芸。
Oh. Oh.
ってことはダム現場のゴミ山か。
Yo, let's go. Who wants to go treasure hunting, everybody?
あそこってあんまり行ったことないんですけど、結構広いですわよね。あそこはバラバラ殺人の幽霊が出るから近寄らない方がいいらしいのですよ。
Big smiles, everybody.
幽霊上等じゃないの。そのくらいの演出つかないと
そんな噂あるのかよ。確か主犯が未だ逃走中。
Rika, where did you hear that? Who talked?
そいつの隠した腕一本が未だ見つからないとか言うんだろ。
その腕を探して監督さんが幽霊になってさまよっているという噂があるのです。あらあらリカ、幽霊が嫌いなんですの？いいお年にもなって恥ずかしいですわね。僕は巫女ですから見たくなくても見えてしまうのですよ。
Oh, she's scared of ghosts.
うわ、なんだよそれ。霊感ってやつか？
Rika can see ghosts.
確か
Okay.
に、見える人には当たり前のように幽霊が見えるって話、聞いたことあるな。
バカバカしいですわね。リカと一緒にずっと住んでますけど、そんなの一度も見たことありませんでしたよ。
Satoko, you can't see ghosts because you don't have a soul.
さとこに見えてないだけなのですよ。
I said that. I'm very mean.
さとこがお布団で寝てるときはいつもニパー。
Look at that. Wow, talk about the fucking timing on that. That's perfect. That's too fucking perfect.
リカそこで笑ってはぐらかさないでくださいませ。私が寝てるときは何なんですの？
Satoko, I feel sorry for you. You could pretend you're not scared of ghosts during the day, but I'm pretty sure you get scared when it gets dark. I'm gonna have to make a silent phone call tonight just to scare the hell out of her. Oh, wow. What an asshole! I love it!
まあ私も含めてなんだけど、ダム戦争の後に好き好んであそこに出入りする人はいないんじゃないかね。レナくらいだよ、楽しそうにあそこで遊んでるのは。
レナのカーイーモードの前に幽霊が出た日には、彼岸の向こうからでもお持ち帰りされかねんな。
I'm the ghost of soy
確かにありそうですわね。はう、お持ち帰りって。
That was a pretty good impression, not gonna lie. That was pretty alright. Gonna need you to give me your phone number after stream, after 5. It was so easy to imagine that all of us laughed.
じゃあ決まり。今日はゴミ山探検にしよう。幽霊を見つけられたら優勝。
If you find a ghost, you win, everybody!
辞典は隠された右腕。
You get a point if you find the victim's missing right arm, everybody!
その次はじゃあレナが気に入りそうな何かだね。
You get a point if you find anything Rena would like.
レナに見せて白黒をつけてもらうってことでどうよ。
There you go, we're just gonna go find cute things for Rena.
私は優勝でケイチさんはビリでダブル罰ゲームが楽しみですわね。
おいおい、サトコいいのかよ。優勝ってことは幽霊。
ちょっとやめてくださいませ。暑苦しいですわ。
僕もお化けが怖いので行きたくないのです。
もとは何ですの？もとは
Who else could you possibly be referring to?
私は全然怖くなんかありませんわよ。ケイチさん、お話遊ばせ。
では行くよ諸君、出撃準備。
We're going on a ghost hunt, everybody! Woo! And it'll be over with. Everything will be over and done with. Yes, it will be over when the Higurashi cry. It was a great little title drop, wasn't it? Satoko's only scared of pumpkins. Okay, so now, like, the beginning, we were in media res. When we start, this is where we started. She's basically confessed everything. So, we're back to this wonderful CG, which I think is fantastic. That's a good shot. So this was Rena has this is, she said that she would tell us the story of how she did her best, and that's kind of everything up until now. Rena finished making her confession. There was no applause or curtain call. It was a quiet and lonely stage that Rena performed on alone. I think I'd forgotten to blink since her confession started. Everybody else seemed to be feeling the same way. Rena looked at us, like she was a teacher waiting for questions from her students. We noticed that she was imitating what Chie-sensei does at the end of class, and we all smiled
さっき
bitterly.
までね、野号地の方に行ってたの。袋を埋める場所を探しに。絶対見つからない場所に隠そうと思うとなかなかいい場所が見つからないの。
Oh God, we're just involving everybody now.
自分の家の庭に埋める方がむしろ安心じゃないかななんて考えたりもしたっけ。でもそれじゃあやっぱり危ないよね。お父さんが突然家庭菜園をやりたいなんて言い出すかもしれないもん。やっぱり遠くの山奥がいい。あの女をたとえ死んだ後でもお父さんに近づけたくなかったし。
Wow. I felt like I did something very bad. Rena's plan was going smoothly. If I'd only hunted for the mahjong tiles instead of insisting on doing something else, this wouldn't have happened. When I looked at the others, they all seemed to be regretting their actions too. If Mion hadn't come up with the idea to play at the garbage dump, if Satoko hadn't found the broken refrigerator, if Rika-chan had convinced us to not go, Rena could have had a few more days, and she could have gotten rid of these trash bags. They never would have been found. Then what would have happened next? Nothing. Everything would have remained the same. We could have kept having happy and peaceful days. Rena had been going through a hard time, but she'd been forcing her face into a smile for us. The fake smile was supposed to become a real smile one day. None of us were supposed to notice that Rena was going through a hard time. After a while, Rena was supposed to be able to forget the bitter memory of killing these two, and she was supposed to live as if nothing had happened. But now, all of her effort, all her courage, had been ruined.
人殺しはいけないことだってことは私だって知ってるよ。したくなんかなかったし、これからだってしたくないと思ってる。でもね、これが最善の努力だったって信じてるし、私は悪いことをしたなんてこれっぽっちも思ってない。
There's like she's so resolute. She's so forthright and resolute about this that it's just like, man, like it's kind of like anybody else that we've kind of experienced that has done the murder. You know, like Keiichi and Shion have both kind of suffered some pretty terrible second guessing of themselves having done the deed. But what we're experiencing here is somebody who was just like, yeah, I fucking did it. And I was right. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
私は幸せで平穏な生活を取り戻すために神様から与えられた等しいチャンスの中で最大限に努力しただけ。製品であれば不幸せでもいいなんてのは満たされた人間の綺麗事だよ。その精一杯は世界中の誰にだってけなせない。むしろ私を褒めてほしいくらい、称えてほしいくらい。竜宮レナは自らの運命と戦った。そして打ち勝った。
Like, I really like the way they're playing her right now. Like, this is a really solid way of taking her character and absolutely recontextualizing her, and it's so good. I don't know why I did it, but I interrupted her. I shouldn't have, but I thought I needed to tell her this, so I did.
でもレナ、どうして俺たちに相談してくれなかったんだよ。
相談？
そうだよ。俺たちは仲間だろ。仲間ってのは何があっても無条件で味方になってくれる家族同然の存在じゃないのかよ。俺たちに相談してくれれば 何かの力になれたかもしれない。そうすればレナは自分の手を汚さずに済んだかもしれない。
What Rena told us made me sad. I couldn't help myself from saying that to her. Rena told us straight that she did the best she could. She told us right to our faces. That's the same thing as saying that she didn't need us in order to do the best she could.
ケイちゃん、今はそんなこと言っても。
いや頼む、言わせてくれ。喜びだって苦しみだって分け合うのが俺は仲間だって思ってる。だからレナが相談してくれたらきっと今よりもより良い未来へたどり着けていたと信じてる。
My boy's kind of talking a lot of sense right now, honestly. Can't argue with that.
今よりより良い未来？そんなのないよ。これが最善の未来だよ。
We did it, everybody! This is the best possible future! We did it! We beat Higurashi!
嘘だな。
My shouts seemed to scare her a little. I knew that Rena didn't believe that this was the best possible future. She just didn't have any other choice. If she'd had other choices, she definitely wouldn't have chosen
だって
this
そ
one.
の証拠にレナはさっきから泣いてるじゃないか。
はあ？誰が？私が？いつ涙を流したの？
今だよ。ずっと流してるじゃないか。自分で分かってないのか？
In fact, I didn't see any tears in her eyes or on her face at all. But that didn't mean she wasn't crying. Rena was crying. She was crying because she was driven into a corner after all the hard work she did to become happy. Her tears looked so sad. Anyone who didn't see those tears wasn't really thinking about her.
私は泣かないよ。誰が泣くものか。私は正しいことをした。最善の選択をした。それでどうして泣かなくちゃならないの？ケイチのバカバカ、何を言ってるか全然わかんないや。
それが泣いてるって言ってんだよ。
Rena stopped laughing all of a sudden, and she spoke with a cold expression on her face.
じゃあいいよ。ケイチ君の言った通りにしたとしてみよう。私がみんなにお父さんとあの女のことを打ち明けた。さあ、どうしてくれるの？
Oh god, she's gonna logic powerbomb him through this entire fucking dump, isn't she? Is she going to go full Higurashi on him again? Oh no! Rena's really good at making sense and being logical and making Keiichi look really dumb.
まずは
まずは何？ん？
Rena had never talked to me like this before. It was as if she was mocking my ignorance, and it made me shut my mouth.
ケイチ君は去年を知らないんだよ。
去年？
そう。去年。昭和57年6月。私と同じように人を殺めることでしか抜けられない不幸の迷宮に閉じ込められた人のお話を。
Satoko gasped.
ケイチ君はあまり知らないよね。北条聡君のことは。
I know that she's Satoko's older brother. He's been missing, but people say he transferred. There's a rumor that he killed his aunt for Satoko's sake. Therefore, it's been taboo to talk about Satoshi in my class. Actually, in all of
サトシ
Hinamizawa.
君もね、私と同じだった。ただ幸せで平穏な日々が欲しかっただけ。妹と静かに暮らせる生活が欲しかっただけ。ケイチ君も去年殺されたさとこちゃんのおばさんがどういう人だったかは噂聞いてるよね。
If what I've heard is true, this is what happened. After Satoko lost her parents, her uncle and aunt got custody of her and her brother, but they were miserable people. Her aunt was especially cruel to Satoko. Satoshi was the kind of guy who wouldn't even hurt a fly, but his aunt probably was the only one whom he didn't have a problem killing. That's how terrible a person she was.
北条家のトラブルはね、ひなみ沢では誰もが知っていたんだよ。おばさんがヒステリックで誰彼関係なく食ってかかることも、サトシ君とサトコちゃんを意味もなくいじめていたことも全部ね。もちろんクラスの誰もが知っていた。御三家の当主跡継ぎであるみーちゃんとリカちゃんだってもちろん知ってたし、サトコちゃんに至っては当事者だもんね。圭一君の言う仲間たちはひなみ沢の誰よりもよくサトシ君の辛さを分かっていたはずなんだよ。それで結果はどうだった？誰かがサトシ君を助けてくれた？
Oh boy, she's just cratering the entire village now. Good job. I've never seen somebody literally powerbomb an entire village of people in one blow, but I think she just did.
誰も助けなかった。みーちゃんは一番力があるくせに村のしがらみがよくわからない煙に巻いて、結局無責任な同情の言葉をかけて傷つけるだけだった。
そんなことはないよ。
嘘だ。
Oh boy, oh boy. Uh-oh. Pressure drop.
サトシ君は分かってたよ。みーちゃんが口ぶりだけは同情してるふりをしながらも全然助ける気がないことを分かってた。だからサトシ君はね、途中からみーちゃんのことを嫌うようになったんだね。
Jesus!
普段は仲間だとか友達だとか言っておきながら、結局は北条家をいじめる園崎家の一味でしかなかったってね。
私は別に
何も救わずに放置した。サトシ君の助けてほしい思いを同情という言葉で拒絶したんだ。それがどれほどサトシ君を傷つけたか分かってる？
Mion tried to find something to say, but failed to do so. She bit her lip instead.
それはリカちゃんも同じだよね。
Now Renan was pointing fingers at Rika-chan. Unlike Mion, Rika-chan looked emotionless and empty, just like Renan did.
リカちゃんは確かにみーちゃんに比べたらその発言力は微々たるものかもしれない。でも神社に出入りしてるお年寄りたちにとても大きな発言力を持っていたはずだよ。リカちゃんにもできる努力があったのにしなかった。リカちゃんも結局はみーちゃんと同じ哀れみの表情を浮かべて小娘を装っただけだった。するのはサトシ君やサトコちゃんを慰めるだけ。その根本原因に対して何の手も差し伸べようとしなかった。
Guys, I thought this was the happy ending. I'm getting a sad now. I feel a little bait and switch. Not gonna lie. I think we got jebaited here.
そんな無慈悲な哀れみがどれほど残酷だったか想像できる？サトシ君が欲しかったのは救いだった。誰かに助けて欲しかった。自分の力だけではどうしても抜け出せない苦境だったから。首まで沈もうとする沼の中で精一杯手を伸ばして誰かに掴んでもらうことを期待していたんだよ。そうね。
Rika-chan's voice sounded mature. It was very different from how she usually sounded.
サトシたちを救う方法がわからなかったから慰めることしかしなかった。それにかまけ救う何かを探し続けなかった罪は否定しないわ。
分かってるじゃない。
Rina gave her a twisted smile. That ugliness caused me to look away.
そしてさとこちゃん、あなたに信じられるかわからないけれど、あなたの罪はとても
Oh,
重い。
Jesus! She's really fucking going now. God damn. I didn't understand why she was blaming Satoko. I tried to take her side, but I gasped in surprise when I looked at her. Oh no, she's dead! She's dead! Oh no! She looked like she was accepting the sin that Rena had mentioned. Satoko must have wanted to confess her sin before Rena pointed it out to her. And so Satoko opened her mouth first.
信じてくださるかどうかはわかりませんけど、ちゃんと気づいてますのよ。その罪。そうなんだ。ニーニーがいなくなってしまったあの夜に気づきましたのよ。それをどうしてニーニーがいるうちに気づけなかったのか。わかるよ、その気持ち。後悔した時にはもう遅いというのは私も同じだったから。だから私は同じことがもう一度起こったから今度は戦った。さとこちゃんのその罪はきっと将来あがなえるよ。その罪に気づけたならきっとね。それでももうニーニーは帰ってきませんのね。
Oh, Satoko looked down sadly. Usually Satoko would say the opposite. But she always said Satoshi was coming back one day without a doubt. But now she accepted the fact that he would never return. She accepted it easily, as if she knew it already, because he's her brother.
ね。
She asked me all of a
これ
sudden.
が私と同じ苦境にいた昭和57年のみんな。サトシ君は自分を助けてくれそうな人たちにはみんなに全てを話したよ。助けてほしいと言ったし、辛いとも言った。打ち明けた、相談した。転校してきたばかりの私にまでね。それはみっともないことじゃない。本当に不幸な人はね、必死なんだよ。サトシ君は自分でも懸命に頑張ってた。それでもどうにもならないからみんなに助けを求めた。ずっと求めてた。でもね、これが圭一君の言う無条件で味方になってくれる仲間たちの体たらくなんだよ。仲間なんて楽しくてどうでもいい時間を一緒に寄り合って過ごすだけのお友達。本当に辛い時に味方になってなんてくれないんだよ。
This sucks, man.
昔からそうだったよ。引っ越し先でもそうだったからね。だから私、自分がサトシ君と同じ状況になったと知った時、私は仲間に打ち明けるのなんかやめようってね。
God, this is terrible.
だってどうせ誰も助けてくれな
Oh,
い
that
し助けられないもの
sucks so bad.
なら同情なんて気がめいるだけなんだよ。せめて学校にいる間くらい楽しく過ごした方が気が紛れていいかもしれないもの。実際みんなと楽しく過ごす学校の時間は楽しかったよ。
Hey Raven, how's it going? Oh boy. This VOD's gonna be very upsetting as well. There's a lot going on here.
あの女たちとのトラブルをわずかの時間でも忘れることができて本当に良かった。サトシ君もそれに気づけていたらよかったね。そうだったなら学校での時間くらいは楽しく過ごせて、あそこまで心を追い詰めずに済んだかもしれない。どうせ自らの手でおばを殴り殺す以外に解決方法はなかったのだし。転校してきたばかりで村のこともほとんど覚えていない私にはサトシ君をどう助けてあげればいいかわからなかった。できるのは話を聞いてあげて 少しでも心を軽くしてあげるだけ。でもそれ以上に助けることができたのかもしれないし、私もその努力を怠っていたかもしれない。それなのに昭和57年の私はサトシ君と仲間のつもりだったんだよね。
Oh man. Difficulty 0. Oh, gee. Oh. Rena's self-derisive laughter changed into grievous sobs. Her tears gradually wore away at our relationship of trust. Nobody will help me. Friends are just people whom you have fun with. You can't trust them. The more Rena cried, the clearer we heard her voice in her heart. Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan looked into the distance with sad expressions on their faces. I was the only one who could say anything back to her now. I had to tell her this, and she knew it too. She just needed to hear it from someone. I braced myself to tell her something that might hurt everybody.
よくわかったぜ、レナ。昭和57年のことはよくわかった。こいつらが白状だったってこともわかったさ。でもよ、サトコだって言ったろ。こいつらはみんな自分の罪に気がついた。後悔した。だから今度は違うはずだ。今度は仲間の苦しみを真に理解して助けてくれるはずなんだ。
去年いなかった人に言われても信憑性ないね。
ああ、そうだ。俺は去年いなかった。だから残念だぜ。去年の俺がもしここにいたならば、サトシのために絶対に戦った。
嘘だ。
嘘じゃねえ。俺はひなみ沢に来てからどれだけ仲間がかけがえのないものかを知った。だからそんな仲間たちを救うためなら俺はどこまでも戦うぜ。サトコやサトシをいじめるおばがそんなにもうぜえやつなら、サトシになんかもったいねえ。この俺が叩き殺してやった。
What a guy.
ものの1500秒でだ。
Oh, fuck you, video game! Oh my god! Fucking... Ah! God! Ah! God damn it!
躊躇なんかしねえぞ。速攻だ。学校の倉庫あたりから金属バットの一本もちょろまかして即ぶっ殺してた。
口先だけならどうとでも言えるね。人を殺すのにどれだけの思い切りがいるかも知らないくせに。
知らねえし知る必要もねえな。仲間を救う以上の義務がどこにあるってんだ。
ケイチ君は全然分かってない。人を殺すことがどれだけ汚らわしい行為で、どれだけ自らを美化しようとも決して振り払えない汚れであることを分かってない。
そうだな。確かに仲間を救うためでも直ちに人殺しってのは短絡的すぎるよな。レナの言い分に相反するようで悪いけど、悪いことに悪いことで立ち向かうってのは多分うまくいかないようにできていると思うんだ。仲間のためなら人殺しだって厭わないその精神だけは立派だと思う。
Yeah, at least one of them, like literally one of them was self-defense.
だけどな、悪いことで得た平穏ってのは
Not the second one though, no, that was premeditated.
それを人は本能的に知ってるから 悪いことを嫌うんじゃないかと思うんだ。
何それ。圭一君が何を口走ってるのかよくわかんないよ。
She didn't have to tell me that. I was aware I wasn't making any sense, but for some reason, I could easily imagine a world like that. Wonder why. A world in which I saved my precious friends by committing an evil act. The peace I seized by doing that evil deed didn't last long. It got worse. It ended in a way as terrible as the sin I committed. This was a memory that shouldn't exist. I don't know why, but I know for a fact that it happened in a world of possibility.
すまん。俺も自分で何を言ってるのか意味がわからなくなった。
For some weird reason, I couldn't prevent myself from smiling in embarrassment even in a situation like this.
レナは分かってるはずだ。だから自らの手を汚すほかなかった運命を助けて欲しかった俺たちを嘆いてるんじゃないか。レナは殺人者になんかなりたくなかったんだ。これが最善の選択だったなんて絶対嘘なんだ。だからさっきからずっと泣き続けているんじゃないか。
そうだ嘘だ嘘だ嘘だ、そんなのは嘘だ。
嘘かどうかはお前が一番知ってるんじゃねえか。最初から後悔してるんだろ。たとえ誰にも知られることなく死体を隠せたとしたって一生両手についた血は落とせないんだ。そんな十字架を背負って生きていく苦痛をどうやってごまかす。一つしかない。これしか方法がなかったと思い込むことだけじゃないか。それはつまり仲間に相談する価値がないって思うこと、仲間を一生否定し続けるってことだぞ。レナにとって俺たちはその程度の存在だったのか。違うだろ。本当に助け合える関係なのが仲間だってことを。確かに去年の仲間たちはまだ未熟だった。だからサトシを不幸な運命から救えなかった。でも人は成長するんだ。ミスは二度と犯さないし後悔は二度と繰り返さない。だから信じろ。俺たちは仲間だ。お前の一番の味方なんだ。
つまりそれは私も未熟だったってこと？
そうだ。仲間たちが日々成長していることを信じられなかったレナも未熟だ。だがそれを責める気はないぜ。俺たちだってレナが一人悩むのを今日まで気づけなかった。人は語り合うことでしか胸の内を明かせない。だから今日のこの場までは仕方がなかったことかもしれない。そういう意味では言いたくはないが、今日という日がレナにとって最善の選択の向こうにあったことを認めざるを得ないかもしれない。でも俺たちは今この場になってレナが去年からずっと持っていた不信感も俺たちが持っていた後悔も全部吐き出し合った。だから俺たちは今こそようやく本当の意味での仲間になれたんだよ。
本当に今更だね。いつも罪は手遅れになってから気づかされる。
そうでもねえさ。例えば俺は仲間であるレナの今回のこの出来事を理解できる。
理解できるって
人の命を奪うのは許されることじゃないっていう道徳的なことはもちろん理解している。でもそれを理解した上で仲間であるレナがこうするほかなかったことを理解する。だから俺はレナを汚らわしいと思わないし恐ろしいとも思わない。
Press 1 in the chat if you don't think Rena is filthy and you're not scared of her. I think that's an easy choice to make. There we go. Easiest one of my life, dude.
次に同じようなことがあったら今度はこういう結果にならないように悩み合おう。だけどすでに起こってしまったこの出来事を俺は理解する。理解ってのはつまり許すということだ。俺はレナのこの行為を否定したりしない。
I said that to everybody this time. I said it to all my
俺は
friends.
レナのやったこの出来事を受け入れ、これしかどうしようもなくて悩み抜いた上で至った最後の最後の手段だったってことを受け入れる。だから俺はレナに協力しようと思う。
ケイちゃん、
もちろん殺した理由が金目当てだとかそんなくだらねえのだったら警察へ叩き出してやってるぜ。
What a good guy.
だけどなレナはそんな気持ちでやったんじゃない。どうしても逃げられなくて悩み抜いた末に至った今日なんだ。レナの罪はそこに至るまでに俺たちに相談しなかったことを。だけどそれを俺は許す。だから今日に至ったその行為も俺は許す。
ケイチ、
だからみんなもレナも今日に至るまでそれに気づけずレナを一人で悩ませた俺を許してくれ。それが今日を招いた俺の罪だ。
ケイチさん、
このヤバい袋の山を知ったのは俺たちだけだ。俺たち全員が秘密にすればそれでおしまいだ。レナは何も気にすることはない。最初の予定通りにこの袋をどこかに隠しちまおうぜ。そして全員で塩でお清めでもして一丁上がりだ。
There you go. You just gotta throw a little salt on yourself. You're good. You're fine. Cleanse yourself with salt later. Disposing of bodies illegally. Easily. It's an easy charge to just kind of hand wave
そ
away.
したら俺たちは全ての罪を許し合おう。そして取り戻そうぜ本当に平穏な日々を。これだろう。
Oh, wouldn't that be the shits right now if Oishi just popped up?
レナが本当に選びたかった未来ってやつはこっちなんだろう。
Exactly. A little salt and air conditioning. You're good to go.
最善の選択肢は
ケイチくん。
I jumped on the hood of the abandoned car Rena was standing on and reached for her hand.
認めろ。こっちが本当にレナが来たかった世界なんだよ。レナが本当に選びたかった選択肢なんだよ。確かにこの選択肢はレナ一人だけじゃ選べない。レナと俺たちが互いに手を差し伸べ合ってしか選べないんだ。つまり俺だけが差し伸べても意味がないんだよ。俺だけじゃない、みんなが差し伸べる。だからレナ、お前も手を伸ばせ。それで互いに手をつかみ合って初めてお前は本当に選びたかった選択肢の向こうの世界に行けるんだよ。
ケイチくんの言葉は本当なら嬉しいよ。でもみんなもそうだとは限らないよ。
A little hand touched mine. Aw, goodest girl! Goodest girl did it. Goodest girl, first in line for the forgiveness squad. It was
リ
Rika-chan.
カちゃん、
レナは決して汚れてなんかいない。あなたは決して屈しなかった。そしてこんなにも泥だらけになりながら今日という日をつかみ取っている。そんなあなたをどうして私は認めずにいられるのか。
Rika-chan's small hand was strong and she spoke eloquently.
私は逃れられない不幸の迷宮に飲まれ、全てに失望する堕落の心地よさを知っている。だからこそたった一人で屈することなく戦い続け、今日を得た あなたのたくましさが理解できる。そんなあなたが身近にいることを誇りに思おう。私も圭一と同じあなたの罪を許す。だからあなたも私の罪を許してほしい。
リカちゃん。
私は無力な小娘だけれどきっと戦えた。自分も運命に屈しないレナのように戦う。だから私をあなたの仲間として許してもらいたい。
Rika-chan usually acts childish, but now she was like a totally different person. She meant every word she was saying, and then another little hand reached out to ours.
サトコ。
Satoko put her hand over mine and Rika-chan's. She didn't say anything, looking down for a while. Rika-chan urged her to speak.
私もリカも両親を失って一人ぼっちですけれど、今日までそれを嘆いたことはありませんでしたよ。皆さんという仲間という家族がいたから。私はこれからも皆さんとレナさんと仲間という名の家族でありたいと思っていますのよ。家族同士だからこそ時には全てを打ち明け合うのは当然ですわ。だから今日はいいきっかけになったと思ってますの。互いの罪を許し合う機会が恵まれたことに感謝いたしましたよ。
仲間という名の家族か。サトコにしちゃいい例えだな。
レナさんの罪を許しますわ。どうか私の罪も許してくださいませ。
That's how they became the Suicide Squad. A big hand reached out for ours. It was Neon's.
仲間の大切さを語るのは部長である私の役目だと思ってただけに、いやはや私も部長失格かなーなんて。
ミオ、
ごめん、ふざけたね。
Mion still smiled and scratched her head.
レナの境遇を察しなかったことを仲間として
Oh my god!
部長として恥じるよ。
I want to just completely... I want to deconstruct the script for this and just write the alternate version where Oishi shows up.
許してほしい。もちろんレナが私たちに相談しなかったことも許すよ。
Beers for everyone!
私が打ち明けるに足る存在じゃなかったってことだからね。私はリーダーであらねばと日々努力しているはずなのに全然至ってなかった。
Sure, why not? Let's just get everybody in on this. This is a real sweet moment. Everybody deserves to be part of what's happening right now.
その未熟さは私の責任だから、レナの罪を許す。
レナ、俺たちは全員手を重ねて差し伸べたぞ。こっちは全部揃った。あとはお前だけなんだ。手を伸ばせ。こっちへ来い。お前が本当に来たかった世界はこっちなんだ。もう手は全員が差し伸べてる。あとはレナだけなんだ。だからためらうな。
レナは人殺しだよ。きっとみんなに迷惑をかけるよ。
レナ、私たちは。
リカちゃん、もう余計なことは言わなくていい。俺たちは全員で手を重ねて差し伸べている。この事実にこれ以上上塗りする言葉は何も必要ない。だからレナにだって言葉はいらないんだ。ただ黙ってこっちへ手を伸ばせばいいんだ。来いレナ、 夢とか幻とかじゃない。ましてや手遅れでも何でもない。レナにはまだ選べる選択肢が残ってるんだ。だから選べ。間に合う。来るんだ。俺たちはやり直せるんだ。
Rena slowly reached out, and her hand touched ours. She didn't hold our hands. All she needed to do was touch our hands to show us her will. Rena chose to live, to share her life with her friends, rather than refuse them for the rest of her life. I took a step closer to her and firmly grabbed her wrist. It was getting dark and some stars appeared in the sky. We all forgave each other for our sins for the first time. And it was a little embarrassing, but Rena's tears made us all cry, and we all just kept crying together. We stood in a circle, holding each other by the shoulders and putting our heads together in the middle. We were a family made of friends. We forgave each other, and we were happy together. There's a memory in the back of my mind, but it's not supposed to exist. I tried to save one of our friends in that world. In order to do that, I rejected all of my other friends. I acted recklessly alone. And I brought about the end of the world. The situation we have here is the same as the incident in that faraway world, in the sense that people have been deprived of their lives in order to save one friend of mine. But other than that, it was different. We have Rena, Neon, Satoko, Rika-chan, and myself. Nobody was missing. We were going to regain them. We were going to regain those happy and peaceful days. The road going there might be a little rough, but we'll walk it together. We all will. Board games solve everything, exactly! We went to the place in the mountains of Yagochi that Rena had picked for her to bury the bags. Carrying corpses is a scary thing to do, but it made us united more strongly because of that. Since each part of the corpse is in a separate plastic trash bag, we could tell what's inside of each bag by touching it. First, we forced ourselves to laugh whenever we had to touch the bodies because we were scared, but after a while we got used to it, to the point where we could make jokes about it. Of course, all this was probably a bluff, but we all tried our best. Mion somehow had detailed knowledge of how to hide corpses, and she told me to dig the hole deeper. Rika-chan helped to carry the bags. Satoko used her talent of setting traps to perfectly camouflage the place where we buried the bags. Me? I was in charge of digging the hole. Rena dug it earlier, but I made it a little deeper. After we finished all of that, we walked back to the place where we parked our bicycles, and we looked back at the place where we buried the bags. Yeah. This is a real... Oh, this one's hard. There's so much bad. After we finished all that, we walked back to the place where we parked our bicycles, and we looked back at the place where we buried the bags. It was completely unnoticeable. We'd never be able to find the place again once we left for home. That's how perfect it looked.
よっしゃみんなお疲れさんこれでおしまいだね帰ろう帰ろう
Mion said it cheerfully, as if we just finished club activities or something. We had no more bags to carry, and we no longer had any burden to carry either. We got on our bicycles, but Rena was still standing there, looking into the distance.
Rena.
ごめん。ちょっと熱が出ちゃったみたいで、なんかぼーっとする。
Rena's face looked slightly red. Mion touched Rena's forehead. It actually was a little warm. She had a tough day today. She had to go through so many things. She had to find a place to hide the corpses. She had to dig a hole. We caught her with the bags. We talked about our feelings, and we forgave each other. She must be exhausted after a day
Rena,
like that.
今日は帰ったらゆっくり休め。
ありがとう。そうするね。
レナ、私たちはもう全部許し合ったんだよ。だから自分を責めちゃダメだからね。
やっぱりみんなの言う通りだったよ。
何がだ？
やっぱり私、自分と自分の行為を美化したって、私は心の中で恐ろしいことをしたと怯えていた。みんなに助けてもらってここまで来てこんななんだもん。もしみんなと会わずに一人で全てを片付けていたら、私は耐えきれず潰されてしまったかもしれない。
She said all this with a bitter smile. It might take her a long time to heal from the pain, but it must be 100 times shorter than the time it would have taken if she had to do this all alone. Rena's home was the closest from here. Rena went her way and the four of us were left behind. Mion made a suggestion.
明日からなんだけどさ、みんな揃って今日のことを忘れるのがいいと思うんだけど、どう思う？
Number 1 rule of Body Count Club: we don't talk about Body Count Club.
そうですわね。それが一番レナさんにとって優しいことになると思いますわ。レナは強い人です。僕たちがそう振る舞えば、レナもそう振る舞ってくれますですよ。
振る舞いもずっと続けてれば本当になるって言うもんな。
語らないことでそのうち私たちは忘れていくよ。そして完全に忘れきった時が私たちのゴールだね。
Yeah, just add that to the club.
その日は一生かけて来るか来ないかを探ることになると思いますです。そうかもしれませんわね。簡単に忘れられることではありませんでしたよ。
仮に生涯忘れられなくてもいい。大切なのは最後まで全員の胸にしまって秘めておくことなんじゃないかと思う。
思い出させない方が大事だからね。
We nodded agreement just as my house came into view.
じゃあな、みんな。明日また学校でいつもの通りに。
いつもの通りに。いつも通りにトラップに引っかかり遊ばせですわね。
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
After I parted with them, I still felt hot and dizzy. It felt really weird. I was even staggering to the front door. I felt as if I was floating in the air, like I just took some very strong cold medicine. Today, something very shocking, something that made me super happy, and something very embarrassing happened to me. It felt as if my heart and mind were about to explode because they were filled to the brim with both happiness and sadness. I don't know whether I made a crucial mistake today or if I had the happiest day of my life. I don't know whether I made the crucial mistake today or if I had the happiest day of my life. I don't know which it was, and all I could do was to stare blankly into space. I felt frustrated too. Even though they were my friends, I was caught in the act of abandoning the corpses, but at the same time I felt relieved that my reliable friends accepted what I did. Those emotions were all mixed up in my heart, and they were equally strong, making it difficult for me to decide what I was feeling. I was losing my sense of balance. It was like the world was warping around me. I heard sounds as if I were in a shower, as if I was in a shower. Everything left me with a feeling of unreality. When those emotions were about to make me lose control, I felt a heat on my wrist. The part where Keiichi-kun grabbed me earlier started throbbing. My feelings weren't cooperating with me, but the heat on my wrist calmed them down for me. I don't know how to express how I felt when my friends and I held shoulders together in a circle earlier. But the feeling was the only thing I knew to be real.
ただいま。あれ？
As soon as I opened the front door, I smelled it. It smelled really good. My father isn't good at cooking, but he likes trying to cook creative dishes. I remember he used to cook something very challenging whenever he was in a good mood. So the smell was a sign that he felt that way. That's why I always liked that smell. The reason he's in a good mood is because he found a job. And not just any job. He found a job at the company created by friends from his old workplace. They remembered my father and promised to hire him. He told me that some of his other colleagues from the old company are also working there. It must be very encouraging for him to work with people he knows because he hasn't worked for a long time. The dinner looked great in contrast to how it tasted. It was a dinner to celebrate his new life and to show his determination to regain his bond with his daughter and to make a clean start. I talked about a lot of things with my father that night. It had been a long time since the last time I talked with him like this. I don't remember when it was, but it reminded me of the days I was still happy, which meant that I'd finally returned to that time. My father still believes that Tepe is coming back one day, so he's still very cautious about locking the doors and windows, and he gets scared every time someone rings the doorbell. I told him so many times they'd never come back, but I couldn't convince him because I couldn't tell him the reason why they won't. He'll eventually realize that he's free. I'm sure it won't take too long. My heart was full of many, many emotions that day. If emotion could actually burst a heart open, it might happen to me. My brain must have been overworked because so many things happened at once. My head was still fuzzy, but I managed to crawl into bed. It felt like the ground was moving. I totally lost my sense of reality. I remember that once I felt like this when I got the flu. I might get a high fever tomorrow, but I don't care. I don't care if I get sick tomorrow. I just wanted to enjoy the fact that I took a step towards the future of my decision. Keiichi-kun told me something like that today. The high fever and the dizziness made me feel frustrated for some reason, but whenever I felt frustrated, I felt the heat on my wrist too. I grabbed my wrist with my left hand tightly. It made the frustration go away and brought me relief. Even the dizziness I didn't like just before made me feel like I was in a down-filled futon. I was falling asleep on that down-filled futon on my first night in a new world. The dizziness didn't go away for a few days, but I gradually got used to it. This new world looked like the world I used to live in before, but the sunshine was a little bit brighter and Keiichi-kun's smile looked a little bit more gentle than before. We made more noise than we used to. We spent every day slowly, but in high spirits. Oh, what an idiot I am. I underestimated that dizziness and I caught a summer cold in June. I wanted to get better as soon as possible. I should have taken a day off from club activities, but I forced myself to play with them every day, and that made it hard for me to get better. I finally learned my lesson recently. I don't need to feel frustrated. There's no limit to happiness in this world. As long as we keep wishing for it, it'll continue forever. I don't need to feel frustrated anymore because tomorrow I will have the happiness I have today. How's it going, nerd? We found happiness. We did it. This is the good ending, right? We did it. We'll have the Watanagashi Festival next Sunday. Michan tells us that we'll have a lot of fun and that we'll go extra crazy. I really can't wait. Guys, we're going to Watanagashi. Well, we gotta have, like the Watanagashi is like the epilogue. Letter from the forestry office. Like Watanagashi is just gonna be like an epilogue. Like we got a happy ending apparently. So the Watanagashi will just be like, hey, you want an entire chapter full of club games? Let's do it, everybody. Alright, so we got a letter from the forestry office. It's still June, yet the air is filled with the cries of cicadas. How is everyone in Hinamizawa doing? The Watanagashi Festival is coming just around the corner. We staff members from the Forestry Service are going to perform a wood sculpting demonstration at the festival. We'll be happy to lend our tools and teach kids how to sculpt wood themselves. It'll be an excellent memorial gift. Also, we would like to inform everyone that we're going to cut down trees in the local hills this summer as part of the number XX Fourth Forest Landscape Management Project. This project involves preserving the beauty of the forest by cutting down old trees and planting new ones. You were sad you managed to recreate the Spider-Man glitch off stream, but oh no, that's a bummer. You made your own. Nice. Perfect. Tiny pocket Oishi for everyone. The forestry service needs volunteers who are interested in helping us cut down the old trees. I can see Sayara over here uh-ohing. What you uh-ohing about, Sayara? It's fine. You can enjoy the beauty of nature under the blue sky while helping out with this preservation activity, Sayara. You're going to cut down trees with everybody. It's fine. The project will begin during summer break, so you can bring your kids, too. This will be a good opportunity for your kids to learn about nature and have a valuable experience. Just trees. The locations of the project are the forest in Tatsukato and the Yagochi areas. Fantastic. Well, there you go. It'll be fine. We're just going to do some landscape. So, I imagine what's going to happen is we're going to do some landscaping, and then we're going to go to Watanagashi. It'll be great. We're going to have a good time, Sayara. Calm down. It'll be fine. I promise.